Welcome back to the edges of stillness. Tonight, we begin a descent, a long, slow, quiet journey away from the sunlit surface and into the vast, silent heart of our own planet. We are going down, past the limits of human visibility, into a realm of permanent midnight. This is the abyss. Think, for a moment, of the ocean the crashing waves, the warm shallows, the schools of bright fish. All of that life, all that motion, exists in the first 100 meters of the water column, a place bathed in the energy of the sun. But below that photic zone, the world changes entirely. We are traveling through the twilight zone where light slowly fades to nothing. At about 200 meters, only the faintest blue ghost of daylight remains. By 1,000 meters, a full kilometer straight down, the sunlight is completely extinguished. Forever. This is where the deep ocean truly begins. The abyssal plain covers more than half of the Earth's surface. It is the largest living space on our planet, yet it is also the least explored. But more people have stood on the moon than have visited the deepest parts of our ocean floor. It is a world defined by three things: extreme cold, crushing pressure, and profound unbroken darkness. Yet it is not a dead world. It is a world of immense calm and quiet patience. Here the water temperature hovers just above freezing, a constant 4 degrees Celsius. The pressures are enormous, mounting to over 1,000 times the pressure we feel on the surface. If you were to venture down without protection, you would be instantly crushed. But the creatures that live here are perfectly adapted. They know no other way. Listen. Hear the stillness. Down here, the waves and storms of the surface are completely irrelevant. No wind blows. There is no sound of rain. The chaos of the upper world cannot penetrate this vast liquid blanket. The only movement is the slow, deliberate current that crawls across the abyssal plains, a current driven by differences in temperature and salinity, taking hundreds of years to complete a single circuit around the globe. This slow, ancient breathing of the ocean regulates the temperature of the world above. We are entering a kingdom of quiet patience, where time moves on a geological scale, and life is sustained not by the sun, but by chemistry and sheer perseverance. We are alone in the dark, and it is perfectly peaceful. Let us focus now on the first strange inhabitants of this midnight zone, the silent hunters who create their own light. Down here, where the sun is a forgotten memory, life has found a way to illuminate itself. This phenomenon is called bioluminescence. It is not light for seeing, but rather light for communicating, for attracting, and most often for deceiving. Imagine the pitch black, only to be broken by a faint, ghostly blue or green shimmer. Some deep-sea creatures, like the anglerfish, use a glowing lure at the end of a long, bony stalk. It is a slow, hypnotic beacon in the void, a deceptive promise of a meal that draws unsuspecting prey directly into the jaws of the hunter. It is a world of moving bioluminescent stars. The process is a cold chemical reaction, often involving a molecule called luciferin. It is highly efficient, producing almost no heat. For the creatures down here, generating light is as fundamental as breathing. They use it in flashes and patterns, a rapid burst to startle a predator, a long, slow glow to find a mate in the endless dark. It is the language of the deep. It is life's quiet answer to the darkness. Moving deeper, we leave even the occasional light show behind and enter the true abyss, a space so vast and so empty that the creatures that inhabit it must rely on what drifts down from above. This is the marine snow. Marine snow is not frozen water, but a constant gentle shower of organic material, the remnants of dead organisms, fecal matter, and dust from the world we left behind. It is the food source for the entire abyssal ecosystem, a slow, gentle rain of nourishment that takes weeks or even months to reach the bottom. Everything here is a master of patience. Creatures wait, sometimes for a lifetime, for a single, large item to drift down. Many are gelatinous and transparent, minimizing their energy expenditure as they float, waiting for the gentle flakes of snow to come to them. Their metabolisms are drastically slow, conserving every ounce of energy in a world where food is scarce and precious. But there is a place on the ocean floor where life does not depend on the sun at all. We are talking about the hydrothermal vents. These are fissures in the Earth's crust, often near volcanic areas, that spew superheated, mineral-rich water from beneath the seafloor. The water emerging from these black smokers is incredibly hot, hundreds of degrees Celsius, but does not boil due to the immense pressure. Around these vents, life flourishes in absolute darkness, relying on a process called chemosynthesis. Instead of sunlight, these ecosystems rely on the chemical energy from the compounds in the vent fluids, such as hydrogen sulfide. Giant tube worms, massive clam beds, and strange deep-sea shrimp thrive here, forming bustling, isolated oases in the otherwise barren plain. They are worlds unto themselves, powered by the Earth's inner heat. They remind us that life, once started, is profoundly tenacious, finding a path to thrive in conditions that we would consider impossible, hostile, or utterly alien. Our final destination in this deep dive is the deepest point on Earth, the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. The trench is a crescent-shaped scar in the ocean floor, plunging almost 11 kilometers beneath the surface. This crushing cold realm is known as the Hadal Zone, named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. Here, the pressure is equivalent to having 50 jumbo jets resting on your chest. Yet, even in this extreme environment, life persists. The animals here are masters of molecular adaptation. Their bodies contain special molecules, known as piezolates, which prevent the crushing pressure from deforming their proteins. They are thin, often transparent, and move with a slow, almost lazy grace, conserving energy in the scarce environment. The Hadal Zone is not hostile. It is simply indifferent. It asks nothing of its inhabitants but adaptation. They exist in a state of perfect hydrostatic balance, perfectly attuned to their extreme environment. There is no urgency here, no panic, only the steady cold endurance of life. As we begin our mental ascent, imagine slowly leaving the permanent darkness of the trench. The intense pressure eases minute by minute, mile by mile. We pass the deep sea vents, their quiet light fading below us. We float past a slow, gentle flurry of marine snow, returning to the black expanse of the abyssal plain. The deep ocean is the ultimate sound muffler, absorbing the world's surface noise and reflecting only the deep, low rumbles of distant tectonic plates. It is a place of profound acoustic isolation. Carry with you the profound lesson of the abyss. That deep, quiet darkness is not a sign of absence, but a sign of immense, patient, and enduring life. It is a space of ultimate calm, where the chaos and haste of the surface cannot reach. Let the slowness of the abyssal current guide your own breathing. Let the vast, dark silence of the ocean floor quiet your mind. There is peace in the darkness and resilience in the deep cold. Rest here for a while, knowing that even in the deepest, most challenging corners of our world, life finds a way to exist in quiet serenity. If the deep ocean represents the silent, heavy heart of our planet, the northern lights, or the aurora borealis, represent the light, ethereal crown that dances on the edges of our world. We now ascend from the crushing pressure of the abyss to the thin cold air high above the Arctic Circle. Close your eyes and imagine the cold, a crystalline, dry cold that bites at the nose, but is softened by the profound stillness of a long winter night. Above you, the sky is black, deeper than the deepest sea. The air is so clear, you feel you could reach out and touch the millions of stars, each one a tiny, sharp needle of light. And then it begins. First, a pale, almost invisible curtain of light unfurls on the northern horizon. It is white at first, like a distant searchlight. Slowly, shyly, the curtain begins to rise, gathering momentum and color. It shifts to a ghostly, soft green, the most common hue. And then, in rare, spectacular moments, streaks of pink, violet, and deep scarlet appear at its edges. This is not a solid light. It is a living, breathing phenomenon. It shimmers, it pulses, and it dances. The light seems to move as if an invisible hand were gracefully sweeping a velvet cloth across the vastness of the sky. It appears to be close, almost within reach, yet it is happening 100 miles above us. What we are witnessing is a gentle collision. The science behind the aurora is a quiet story of the cosmos interacting with our own planet. High above us, the sun is constantly releasing a stream of charged particles, electrons and protons, called the solar wind. Most of the time, the Earth's protective magnetic field, its invisible shield, deflects this wind. But at the magnetic poles, the north and south, the field lines are drawn inward, creating funnels. These funnels allow the solar particles to stream down into the Earth's upper atmosphere. As these fast-moving particles strike the atoms and molecules in our atmosphere, they transfer energy. It is this excess energy that is immediately released as light. It is the Earth exhaling the cosmic breath of the sun. The color of the light depends entirely on the type of atom being struck and the altitude. Oxygen, the element we breathe, is responsible for the calming, familiar green glow when hit at lower altitudes, and the rare, deep red light when excited at very high altitudes. Nitrogen molecules produce the stunning blue or violet hues. The aurora is therefore a constant, peaceful conversation between the sun, the Earth's magnetic shield, and the air we breathe. It is a reminder that even in the quiet of the night, we are deeply connected to the enormous electric systems of the solar system. The sheer scale of this interaction, the forces of a star millions of miles away creating a silent, beautiful show just above our atmosphere, is profoundly humbling and soothing. There is no sound associated with the auroral light itself. Yet if you're lucky enough to be standing beneath a very active display, where the air is still and the aurora is directly overhead, some observers report a faint crackling or hissing sound. This remains a mystery, perhaps a small electrostatic discharge occurring very close to the ground, but it only adds to the magic of the experience. But the story of the aurora is older than our science. It lives deeply within the mythology of the people who have lived under its dancing veil for millennia. They saw not science but spirits, gods, and hidden truths. The story of the aurora is older than our science. It lives deeply within the mythology of the people who have lived under its dancing veil for millennia. They saw not a gentle collision of solar wind and atmosphere, but spirits, gods, and hidden truths moving just beyond our reach. In the mythologies of the North, the aurora was rarely just light. It was a sign, a messenger, a path. For the Norse Vikings, the shimmering lights were believed to be the armor of the Valkyries, the female spirit warriors, as they rode on horseback, collecting the souls of fallen heroes to bring them to Valhalla. The green and red light was the reflection of their shields and spears, a majestic, powerful promise of the afterlife. They saw the aurora as a celestial battlefield, a reminder of honor and fate, painted in deep, dramatic colors across the night sky. Yet other cultures experienced the light with greater reverence and fear. In Greenland and northern Canada, the Inuit people held a different, more somber view. They believed the light was the dance of the spirits of their deceased loved ones. The eerie, sometimes reported sound of the aurora, that faint, crackling, or hissing sound, was believed to be the spirits attempting to communicate with the people on Earth. Because of this belief, it was often considered very dangerous to whistle at the lights, as it was thought it might attract the spirits' attention and draw them closer, perhaps carrying the whistler away. It was a beautiful but cautionary presence that demanded respect. The Sami people, the indigenous inhabitants of the Scandinavian Arctic, also viewed the aurora with great respect and caution. They believed the light was a powerful and unpredictable force that should not be mocked or disturbed. Whistling, waving, or even talking loudly about the lights was strictly forbidden, as they believed the aurora could swoop down, grab the person, and carry them up into the cold, silent sky. They observed the spectacle in silence, treating the display as a sacred, powerful, living being. In Finland, the aurora is known as ribontulet, which translates literally as foxfires. This is a gentler, more playful image. The legend tells of an Arctic fox running so quickly across the snowy fells that its bushy tail brushes against the snowdrifts, kicking up sparks that fly into the sky, creating the beautiful shimmering light display. It's a quiet, swift, and almost hidden animal, its passing marked by a silent ribbon of light far above. In every ancient culture of the North, the aurora was treated not as a spectacle, but as an active entity, a bridge between worlds, a sign from the gods, or the quiet presence of those who had passed on. This collective imagination speaks to the profound emotional impact of witnessing the light show in the cold, silent sky. It connects the human soul directly to the vastness of the cosmos. To watch the aurora is to be filled with a profound sense of perspective. It is a visual reminder of the immense, silent forces that quietly shape our existence, forces that operate on a scale far beyond our immediate human concerns. When you stand under the canopy of the dancing lights, the everyday noise of the world below fades away. The light display itself, powered by the sun's vast energy, reminds us that we are not isolated, but intimately connected to the powerful electric systems of our solar system. We are protected by a giant magnetic shield, constantly guarding us from the solar energies that create this beauty. This connection to something vast and ancient can be deeply soothing. The light moves with infinite patience. There is no urgency in its rhythm, no rush in its slow, graceful folds. This is a show that has been running for billions of years, indifferent to the pace of human life. It asks nothing of you but silent appreciation. The experience often leads to a deep feeling of humility and tranquility. The sky, which is usually a passive sailing, transforms into an active canvas of silent motion and color. For a few brief hours, the Earth itself feels small, tucked safely beneath this cosmic curtain. The cold, clear air of the Arctic night contributes to this feeling of peace. The stillness is absolute, broken only by the soft crunch of snow underfoot or the gentle, distant sigh of the wind. This environment of minimal sensory input allows the mind to quiet itself, leaving behind the clutter and chaos of daylight. Let the sight of the aurora, even in your mind's eye, guide your breathing. Inhale the stillness of the polar night and exhale the tension of your day. The constant flow of energy, the gentle, relentless movement of the light encourages a meditative state. As this magnificent, icy spectacle of the northern lights begins its slow fade from our view, we prepare to travel to its geographical opposite, a place of even more profound silence and isolation. We move from the electric green glow of the North Pole to the vast, blinding white stillness of the South. We travel now to a continent entirely defined by cold, isolation, and silence, a place of endless white, where the only sound is the wind, and the only movement is the slow creep of the ice. We prepare to land on Antarctica. We journey now to the geographical opposite of the northern lights, a place of even more profound silence, isolation, and scale. We move from the dancing curtain of the aurora borealis to the massive, silent, and blinding white continent of Antarctica. Imagine a landmass larger than Europe, almost entirely covered in ice. This is not a place where you observe nature. This is a place where you're overwhelmed by its magnitude and its quiet indifference to human presence. The continent holds about 90% of the world's ice, an ice sheet so vast it has depressed the land beneath it. Antarctica is defined by its extremes. It is the coldest, windiest, and driest continent on Earth. It is technically considered a desert as its interior receives less than 200 millimeters of precipitation per year. Yet this desert is made entirely of frozen water. Let us begin our arrival not with a bang but with a whisper, the sound of profound silence. The continent is protected by the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, a colossal river of water that flows eastward, endlessly encircling the landmass. This current, the largest in the world, effectively isolates Antarctica both thermally and biologically, keeping the warm waters of the other oceans far away. It is this isolation that has preserved the continent as a sanctuary of stillness and cold for millions of years. As we approach, we see the ice shelf, where the massive land ice begins to float on the sea. These shelves can be hundreds of meters thick, their edges presenting massive, unmoving cliffs of white and pale blue ice. The scale is difficult to comprehend. The Ross Ice Shelf, for example, is roughly the size of France. Stepping onto the continent itself is to enter a world purged of color and noise. The air is so cold and dry that sounds do not carry well, and the flat, endless, white landscape offers no visual clutter to distract the eye. This is the white silence. The silence here is not merely the absence of sound, it is an active presence. It is a stillness that presses in on you, calming the frantic internal monologue of the mind. The only noise is the gentle, occasional crackle of the ice expanding or contracting, or the sound of your own quiet breath in the extreme cold. This profound quiet has a deep psychological effect. Explorers often describe a feeling of deep serenity mixed with a sense of being utterly insignificant against the backdrop of such vast, ancient geological power. The ice here is not new. It can be hundreds of thousands of years old, trapping bubbles of ancient atmosphere within its layers. Every breath you take here is a connection to immense, slow, geological time. We are entering a place where life is a relentless commitment to survival against impossible odds. The few creatures that thrive here are models of adaptation, finding ways to draw energy and life from the coldest environment imaginable. Let the absolute stillness of the ice permeate your thoughts, and let the sheer, crystalline cold bring a sense of clarity to your mind. We are safe within the wide, endless landscape. Despite its white silence, Antarctica harbors a surprising amount of life along its coastlines and in the icy waters of the Southern Ocean. These life forms are silent masters of adaptation to these extreme conditions. While terrestrial life on the continent is sparse and mostly microscopic, the coast is home to vast colonies of penguins and different species of seals. These animals survive by clustering together against the harsh winds and freezing cold, sharing warmth and drawing their sustenance from the open sea water. The sheer mass of a penguin colony creates a small island of warmth and gentle movement in the vast wideness. Yet, even this life is governed by a profound stillness and unshakable routine. Certain species, such as the Weddell seals, choose to live beneath the surface of the ice during the winter months, using small holes they maintain in the ice sheet to breathe. The dark sub-ice environment is sheltered from the noise of the wind and the surface storms. This is a calm refuge, a quiet blanket of ice where only the soft sounds of water and ice movement can be heard. The foundation of this life is the tiny crustacean known as Antarctic krill. These creatures, existing in swarms weighing millions of tons, feed on sub-ice plankton and sustain the entire ecosystem, from seals to massive whales. Even the movements of the krill swarms, like the deep ocean currents, possess a slow and ancient rhythm. But the greatest mystery of Antarctica lies beneath its surface. Beneath the immense ice sheet exists a network of liquid water, an environment isolated from the rest of the world for millions of years. Thanks to the immense pressure of the ice sheet and the Earth's geothermal heat, the melting point of the ice is lowered, allowing enormous lakes to form beneath hundreds of meters of ice. The largest and most famous of these is Lake Vostok. Lake Vostok spans 14,000 square kilometers and is trapped beneath 3.7 kilometers of ice. This water is estimated to have been isolated from the rest of the planet for 15 to 25 million years. It exists in total darkness, under high pressure, and with a unique chemical composition. The discovery of Vostok offered the hope of an entirely new, undisturbed ecosystem. Scientists believe that these subglacial waters may harbor species of microorganisms that have evolved completely isolated, never having relied on the sun for energy. These lakes represent life sustained by the Earth's own inner energy, a life that is quiet, enduring, and supremely patient. Antarctica's white silence is not just the sound of the surface wind and ice. It is also the silence of life that has been patiently trapped for millions of years. These mysterious subglacial waters whisper to us how stubborn and how quiet life can be, even in the most challenging conditions. Antarctica is not just a geological entity. It is a continent steeped in the quiet drama of human exploration. The history of reaching the South Pole is a story of extreme physical endurance and profound mental solitude. Think of the early explorers, such as Scott, Shackleton, and Amundsen. Their journeys were undertaken in a silence so deep and isolating that it tested the very limits of the human mind. They faced endless, featureless white, where the only reference point was the sun's slow arc and the whisper of the wind. The sensory deprivation magnified the stillness. They were witnesses to the world's most untouched landscape, a place where the air itself felt heavy with ancient calm. The silence of Antarctica is preserved by the Antarctic Treaty System, which designates the entire continent as a reserve devoted to peace and science. No permanent human settlement, no military activity, and no mining can take place here. This agreement ensures that the vast majority of the continent remains as it has been for millions of years, silent, white, and scientifically dedicated. This lack of permanent civilization amplifies the feeling of ultimate peace. The only sounds are the natural ones, the creaking of the ice sheet as it moves, known as ice tremor, the massive slow sigh of a glacier carving into the ocean, and the deep, low resonance of the wind sweeping across the flat, open plains. These sounds are not chaotic, they are rhythmic, geological, and profoundly calming. The sheer white of the landscape also offers a visual calmness. The absence of clutter, the lack of contrasting colors, allows the mind to rest. The eye has nowhere to focus but the endless horizon, blurring the line between the sky and the ground. This visual void can act as a form of natural meditation, forcing the observer to turn inward. Let the image of this vast, empty, white landscape settle in your mind. Imagine yourself standing at the South Pole, where every direction you look is north. This is a singularity of geography, a place of perfect orientation and perfect emptiness. Take a slow, deep breath of this imaginary crystalline air. Feel the cold, clean stillness surrounding you. Let the ancient silence of the ice sheet settle your thoughts. Know that the cold, silent strength of Antarctica reflects a deep, unshakable resilience. We have now traveled from the crushing pressure and dark fire of the deep ocean to the gentle, electric dance of the northern sky, and finally to the white, eternal stillness of the southernmost continent. All of these places, deep, high, and cold, share a common trait, a profound ancient calm that asks only for silent recognition. Carry this calm with you. Let the steady patience of the krill, the slow movement of the abyssal currents, and the deep, silent watch of the ice guide you toward complete rest. You are safe. You are still. You are connected to the quiet heart of the earth. We now look upward, leaving the surface of our planet to focus on our nearest neighbor in the cosmos, the moon. The moon is a constant companion, a silent witness to all of Earth's history. It is a world of permanent shadows and dust, yet its quiet influence on our daily lives and on the rhythm of the oceans we explored in the first chapter is profound and deeply calming. Imagine the night sky. The moon is there, a beacon of soft, reflected sunlight. Its surface, visible to us, is a landscape of ancient, slow-moving geology. Vast, dark plains called Maria, Latin for seas, and bright, rugged highlands pockmarked by craters. This is a world entirely without wind, without atmosphere, and without weather. It is a kingdom of absolute stillness. Its history is tied inextricably to ours. Scientists believe the moon was formed billions of years ago from the debris of a massive collision between the early Earth and the Mars-sized planet. It is, in essence, a piece of our own planet, slowly separated but forever connected by gravity. This connection is most evident in the ocean tides. Tides are the moon's most poetic and persistent reminder of its presence. They are the slow, rhythmic breathing of the ocean, pulled back and forth across the continents. The moon's gravitational force pulls on Earth, causing the oceans to bulge outwards, both on the side facing the moon and perhaps counterintuitively on the side facing away from it. As the Earth rotates, these bulges, the high tides, sweep across the globe, creating a predictable, reliable rhythm of rising and falling waters. This rhythm is slow. A high tide takes approximately 6 hours to transition to a low tide, and then another 6 hours to return to high tide. It is a pace that embodies patience and inevitability. The tides cannot be rushed, argued with, or stopped. They are the definition of natural cyclical time. Let the slow, predictable rhythm of the tide become the rhythm of your own breathing. Inhale as the ocean water swells towards the moon, and exhale as the water recedes to the shore. This is the oldest rhythm on earth, a perfect, gentle cadence dictated by a quiet force millions of miles away. The tides also have a subtle, stabilizing effect on Earth. They slow the rotation of our planet. When the moon was first formed, an Earth day lasted only a few hours. The constant friction of the tides has been gradually breaking our planet, lengthening our days to the 24 hours we experience now. The moon is literally slowing down time for us, allowing for the stable, long-term evolution of life. The moon is, in effect, a massive silent anchor in the sky, holding our planet steady. Without its stabilizing gravitational pull, the Earth's axis would wobble dramatically, leading to catastrophic and unpredictable climate shifts. The moon ensures stability. It ensures calm. It ensures the long, patient rhythm of life. Beyond the invisible anchor of gravity, the moon gives us the phases, a gentle, predictable cycle that has provided timekeeping and spiritual rhythm for millennia. The phases are merely the different ways we see the moon lit by the sun as it orbits Earth. It is a slow, methodical change, moving from the dark, hidden new moon through the crescents to the full, luminous circle of the full moon. This cycle, taking just over 29 days, is so steady that it became the foundation for the first calendars. The very word month derives from the word moon. This cycle is the embodiment of natural, patient change. We see the moon slowly wane, disappearing into the darkness, only to return with renewed light, growing day by day until it reaches its peak brightness. It is a silent lesson that loss and rest are temporary, and renewal is an inevitable part of the universal rhythm. Throughout human history, these phases have been tied to tranquility and guidance. The full moon has long been associated with illumination, harvest, and quiet introspection. Ancient cultures relied on the bright moonlight for safe travel and nighttime activities, turning the night from a realm of absolute darkness into a space gently illuminated by borrowed light. Consider the gentle, soft texture of moonlight. Unlike the harsh, direct energy of the sun, moonlight is cool, silvery, and subdued. It softens the world, smoothing the edges of daytime reality and ushering in a quiet, reflective atmosphere. This is the quality of light most conducive to rest and quiet contemplation. The moon is also responsible for a subtle but powerful stabilizing effect on the entire ecosystem. Many nocturnal animals and sea creatures time their most important life events, such as spawning, hunting, and mating, around the tidal and lunar cycles. The moon acts as a celestial clock, ensuring the orderly, predictable flow of life in the quiet hours of the night. Think of the massive deep-sea creatures we discussed earlier. Even their slow movements are regulated by the quiet pull of the moon on the vast ocean depths. Its influence is universal, reaching into every corner of the planet's natural systems, dictating rhythm without ever making a sound. Let the ancient predictable rhythm of the lunar cycle calm any anxiety about the pace of your own life. Just as the moon must disappear to renew its light, there is time for rest, retreat, and eventual return to fullness. The cosmos is patient, the earth is patient. You too can embrace this slow, steady rhythm. The moon is gradually, quietly moving away from us. Each year, it drifts approximately 3.8 centimeters further from Earth. This is a subtle, almost imperceptible change, but it means that the moon's influence, while constant, is slowly diminishing over vast stretches of time. This slow retreat is a final, gentle lesson in cosmological patience. It reminds us that all cycles, even those that govern planets, unfold at an incredibly measured pace. The Earth and Moon are dancing a slow waltz that has been going on for billions of years and will continue for billions more. There is no haste in the universe's great movements. The Moon also holds within its silent craters the potential for our future. Its stable, airless surface is a peaceful repository of history and a quiet platform for human return. The shadows in its deepest craters are home to vast reserves of water ice, permanently shielded from the sun's rays. This ice is a resource for future explorers, a key to extending human presence beyond the Earth. Whether viewed as a mystical guide, a celestial clock, or a scientific resource, the moon remains the perfect symbol of quiet, enduring presence. It is a world of absolute stillness, a place where no sound travels and no storm ever rages. Its light, cool and distant, is the ultimate soothing nightlight for our world. As we end our journey upward to the moon, we gather the themes we have explored tonight. We traveled from the crushing darkness and fire of the deep ocean, where life perseveres through quiet chemistry and intense pressure. We moved to the electric, ethereal dance of the northern lights, where the vast forces of the cosmos translate into a graceful, silent show of light high above the silent Arctic. We then journeyed to the cold, white stillness of Antarctica, a continent defined by its ancient ice and a profound isolation that enforces a deep, contemplative silence. And finally, we rest beneath the gentle, predictable pull of the moon, the silent anchor that governs our tides and stabilizes our world's rotation. All of these places, deep beneath the waves, high in the atmosphere, frozen at the poles, and far out in the cosmos, share a common trait, an overwhelming ancient calm that asks only for silent recognition. They prove that the greatest power in the universe is often expressed not through noise and chaos, but through quiet, patient, and enduring rhythm. Let the knowledge of these deep, stable rhythms of the earth and the cosmos settle every thought. Let the silent strength of the deep-sea creatures, the slow grace of the aurora, the ancient patience of the ice, and the steady pull of the moon guide you toward complete and perfect rest. You are safe. You are still. You are an inseparable part of this vast, quiet, and endlessly moving universe. May the deep calm of the earth watch over you tonight. Rest now. We leave the boundless white silence of Antarctica and the distant calm of the moon, returning to the surface of our planet, but to a place equally defined by profound stillness, the deep, ancient forest. Imagine stepping beneath the canopy. Above you, the dense leaves and branches filter the sunlight into soft, dappled patterns on the forest floor. The world immediately feels quieter, muffled by the sheer mass of vegetation. The wind, which howled across the Arctic plains, now becomes a gentle, high sigh as it moves through the highest branches. The deep forest is a world of verticality and time. Here, time is not measured in days or seasons, but in centuries. The oldest inhabitants of this ecosystem, the ancient trees, have stood their silent watch for generations of human history. Feel the damp, cool air. Smell the rich, earthy scent of moss, decaying leaves, and the deep, rich soil. This is the breath of the forest floor, a complex exchange of gases that contributes to the very air we breathe. The forest is a massive, slow-moving lung of the planet. This ecosystem is defined by its quiet cooperation. Below the surface, the roots of the trees are intertwined with vast networks of fungi, forming what is often called the wood wide web. This is an underground communication network through which trees share vital resources, water, nitrogen, and carbon with their neighbors. A mature, healthy tree can send excess nutrients to younger, struggling saplings, ensuring the survival of the entire community. This quiet, invisible sharing system is a profound model of interdependence and patience. There is no rush, no competition in the human sense, but a slow, methodical commitment to collective survival. The trees communicate not through sound, but through slow chemical signals sent through the soil. The forest floor is a place of perpetual soft whispers, a constant silent exchange of support. When you walk into a place of ancient trees, you're walking into a history book written in bark and wood. Trees like the sequoia or the bristlecone pine have lifespans stretching back thousands of years. They stood through empires rising and falling, through geological shifts and climate changes. Their endurance speaks of a quiet, unshakable strength. Let the slow growth of the ancient forest guide your own mind. There is no haste, only the patient, steady expansion toward the light. The forest is a calm sanctuary, a place where the noise of the outside world is filtered away, leaving only the profound silence of growth and connection. Rest here, under the watchful, centuries-old gaze of the canopy. The deep forest, while quiet, is not truly silent. It contains a unique soundscape, one that is rhythmic and inherently restful. Unlike the sharp, unpredictable sounds of the city, the sounds of the forest are soft, repetitive, and organic. They are the sonic texture of calm. Listen closely. You may hear the gentle, constant, white noise created by the leaves rustling high above. The subtle, pervasive shushing sound acts like a natural sound conditioner, masking other, more distracting noises. It is the steady breath of the canopy, a sound that has calmed humans since the earliest days. Below this canopy noise, the air is still. Perhaps the faint, distant tap of a woodpecker walking on bark, or the gentle snap of a twig on the forest floor, provides an occasional punctuation to the quiet. These are sounds of natural work and life, not stress or urgency. The forest exists in distinct layers of quiet. The canopy layer, hundreds of feet up, experiences the wind and the sunlight, filtering them down to the layers below. The understory layer, made up of smaller trees and shrubs, lives in the filtered light, moving with slower, more deliberate growth. And finally, the forest floor is a place of profound stillness, dedicated to decomposition, patience, and the slow conversion of organic matter back into life. When we focus on this layered quiet, we recognize the forest as a massive, stable shelter. The tall trees absorb the vibrations and noise from the world outside, creating a thermal and sonic buffer zone. To be deep inside a forest is to be truly insulated from chaos. The life cycles here are slow. A giant oak tree may take a century to reach its maturity, and then stand sentinel for many centuries more. The time frame of the forest puts human urgency into peaceful perspective. The forest does not rush, it simply endures. It grows slowly, steadily, and with massive quiet strength. Resting in the deep forest means giving your mind permission to adopt this long-term perspective. Let the rhythmic, quiet sounds, the distant water, the soft rustling, the gentle creaking of old wood, become your focus. Each sound is a reminder of the earth's patient processes. Imagine leaning against the rough bark of an old tree. Feel the firmness of its trunk and the steadiness of its ancient roots holding the ground. This physical stability translates into mental stability. You are connected to something massive, enduring, and supremely calm. Allow the silence of the forest to seep into your bones. Let the slow, ancient pulse of the wood wide web beneath the soil guide your rest. This is a place of perpetual quiet watch, a sanctuary built not by human hands, but by the relentless, patient work of nature. In the deep quiet of the forest, we seek out the oldest inhabitants, the trees that have stood their ground for centuries, witnessing the slow march of geological time. These ancient specimens are repositories of quiet wisdom and unshakable calm. Consider the bristlecone pine, found in the high, dry mountains of California. Some of these trees are almost 5,000 years old, making them the oldest known non-clonal organisms on Earth. They grow in harsh, nutrient-poor soil, enduring extreme cold and powerful winds. Yet, their trunks are gnarled, dense, and deeply resilient. They do not strive for rapid growth or lush greenery. The goal is simply endurance. A bristlecone pine grows so slowly that its wood becomes incredibly dense, making it resistant to rot and disease. A single centimeter of growth can represent a decade of quiet life. Their entire existence is a lesson in the power of slow, steady persistence against all odds. To stand next to such a tree is to experience a direct connection to deep time. The worries of a single day or a single decade become entirely irrelevant in the face of 5 millennia of quiet survival. Their presence is immensely grounding. Another magnificent example of quiet strength is the giant sequoia. These trees, while not the oldest, are the largest single-stemmed trees on Earth by volume. They are giants of stillness. Their massive trunks reaching toward the sky, often resisting fire and disease through sheer, overwhelming size and thick, protective bark. Sequoias demand your full attention, not through speed or noise, but through their sheer scale and silence. They create their own microclimate, casting deep, cool shadows on the forest floor, ensuring a stable, calm environment for the life beneath them. This longevity is possible because the trees have perfected the art of conservation. They exist in an efficient equilibrium with their environment, taking exactly what they need and offering immense stability to the world around them. The great forest, therefore, is a giant library of patience. Every ring in the trunk of an old tree is a silent, stored memory of a year, a drought, a harsh winter, a decade of abundant rain. They record history without judgment or panic. They simply incorporate the past into their ongoing structure. As you rest in this quiet forest, let your mind draw strength from the deep roots of these ancient giants. Let their centuries-long stability anchor your present moment. The forest teaches us that There is immense power in slowing down, in taking a long view, and in cultivating quiet, persistent strength against the inevitable pressures of time. Rest now beneath the silent watch of the oldest living things on earth. We have explored the deep ocean, the high solitude of the ice, and the ancient quiet of the forest. Now, let us turn our attention inward and downward to the worlds that exist at the limits of our perception, the quiet, pervasive realm of the microcosmos. This world is invisible, yet it is the foundation of all life. It operates without sound, without fanfare, and with a patience that dwarfs the lifespan of any human. We are talking about the vast, silent populations of microbes, bacteria, and dust, the essential, often unseen elements that ensure the continuation of the natural world. Consider the simple, omnipresent dust. Dust is not merely dirt, it is a slow, steady composite of countless tiny fragments, particles of sand carried across oceans, volcanic ash, tiny pieces of decayed leaves, and even minute fragments of meteors from deep space. Every speck of dust has taken an immense, silent journey to reach its final resting place. The air around you is a river of the silent, floating histories, each particle a fragment of deep time and slow geological erosion. In this realm of the small, time moves differently. A single grain of sand on a beach may have been eroded from a mountain over 10,000 years. Its journey across continents and through the atmosphere is at the process of extreme quiet patience. This immense hidden world operates on a constant, stable rhythm. It doesn't pause for human events or geological shifts. It simply continues its work, a silent, unrelenting testament to life's tenacity and quiet efficiency. Now, focus on the silent activity of microorganisms. Beneath the forest floor, we explored. In every teaspoon of healthy soil, there are more organisms than there are people on Earth. These countless bacteria and fungi are the engine of all biological processes. They work in profound silence, converting dead matter into renewed life. When a leaf falls or a tree trunk decays, it is the silent, invisible work of those microbes that completes the cycle. They are the great recyclers, performing their fundamental duty without noise or recognition, maintaining the steady health of the planet's ecosystems. This invisible ecosystem is deeply connected to the planet's most patient cycle, the water cycle. Water is the ultimate traveler, moving in a continuous, silent loop that connects every environment we have encountered. Imagine a single molecule of water. It has no urgency, yet it is never truly at rest. It evaporates silently from the deep ocean, a quiet, invisible ascent into the atmosphere, becoming part of the unseen vapor high above. This process is powered by the gentle warmth of the sun, transforming liquid into gas without disturbance or fanfare. Once high in the atmosphere, these molecules join to form the clouds in the atmosphere's quiet reservoirs, holding the potential for rain or snow. The water cycle is the great equalizer of Earth's heat and moisture. It moves water from the warm equatorial regions towards the cold poles, ensuring the slow, steady redistribution of life-sustaining elements. When the water returns to Earth as rain or snow, it begins a quiet, downward journey. Rainwater sinks into the forest floor, becoming part of the groundwater, a slow, deep flow beneath the soil. This water can take decades, even centuries, to move through underground aquifers. The subterranean world is one of perfect silence, where water flows with an immeasurable patience, filtering and purifying itself against the grains of rock and sand. This quiet, persistent movement is vital for life. Eventually, this water will quietly resurface in a spring, flow into a quiet river, and finally return to the deep ocean, completing its cycle. Let your mind follow the journey of this single, patient water molecule. There is no resistance, no struggle, only the gentle, inevitable flow dictated by gravity and temperature. Let the relentless, calm rhythm of the water cycle and the silent work of the microcosmos guide your breathing. You are part of this stable, enduring flow. Rest in the knowledge that the fundamental systems of the earth are always working, always restoring balance, with infinite, quiet patience. We continue our exploration into the quiet, patient workings of the microcosmos, turning our attention now to the silent, geometric foundation of the world: crystals and minerals. Every solid object around us is built upon an invisible, perfectly ordered structure. A crystal is not merely a beautiful stone, it is the ultimate expression of internal peace and order. Inside every crystal, from a single grain of sand to the vast, durable structure of granite, atoms are arranged in a precise, repeating, three-dimensional pattern called a lattice. This perfect geometric symmetry is the definition of stability, an unshakable form built by immense, slow forces. The formation of these minerals is a process of extreme, quiet patience. Quartz, one of the most common minerals, forms when magma or hydrothermal fluids cool slowly over geological time, a timeline spanning millions of years. The atoms must slowly and methodically arrange themselves into that perfect, repeating hexagonal structure. The quality and perfection of the crystal is directly proportional to the slowness of its formation. Haste creates flaws and disorder. Slowness creates crystalline perfection. Think of the silence required for this creation. Deep within the Earth's crust, thousands of feet below the chaos of the surface, immense pressure and gentle, sustained heat combine to facilitate this silent, methodical assembly. The formation of a single flawless gemstone or a large amethyst geode is a testament to deep, quiet geological time and unwavering peace. The crystal, therefore, is a silent record of an ancient, undisturbed calm, a memory stored in perfect geometric order. The Earth's crust, composed of these billions of mineral structures, is not static, but moving with an immeasurable slowness. Beneath the surface, the tectonic plates, massive silent slabs of rock, are constantly drifting. These colossal plates carry continents across the globe at the same speed your fingernails grow, a pace of mere centimeters per year. This movement, known as continental drift, is arguably the most patient, enduring process on Earth. This slow dance of the continents continues without any perceived noise. The great tectonic plates are constantly reshaping the planet, built in mountain ranges like the Himalayas through slow, persistent pushing, and tearing open new oceans through gentle separation. This massive structural reorganization of the planet unfolds over hundreds of millions of years, an immense slow-motion ballet that we can barely perceive. When the plates eventually rub against each other along fault lines, stress builds up over decades, even centuries. This stress is generally silent, stored potential energy held in the structure of the rocks. Only very rarely, when the stress exceeds the breaking point of the rock, does it release as a sudden, brief earthquake. But the earthquake itself is a momentary, violent punctuation mark in a story defined almost entirely by deep, profound stillness. For 99.9% of the time, The tectonic plates are moving in perfect, quiet endurance. The deeper, more frequent rhythm of the earth is the slow earthquake. Tremors that last for weeks or months, releasing their energy so slowly that they are entirely imperceptible to human senses. These slow events are the true, continuous sigh of the Earth's deep core, a rhythm that is profoundly calming in its stability and slowness. The entire planet operates under a principle called isostasy, a state of perfect gravitational equilibrium between the Earth's crust and the mantle beneath it. When a massive weight is removed, like a retreating glacier, or added, like a mountain range, the crust slowly adjusts, rising or sinking over thousands of years to maintain this deep, natural balance. This is the quiet process of the earth settling itself, always seeking perfect rest. Let the perfection of the crystal structure settle the random chaos of your thoughts. Let the immense, patient movement of the tectonic plates ground you in the reality of deep, slow, geological time. Everything in the cosmos is built on order and sustained by patience. The earth is a self-regulating machine, constantly, quietly working towards balance and stillness. Rest in this profound and peaceful knowledge. We approach the final moments of our deep exploration into the small and the silent, shedding all sense of haste and impatience, focusing now on the fundamental processes that sustain our world. The smallest of these processes, from the patient assembly of crystals to the enduring cycle of the water molecule, reveal a profound calming truth. The universe operates in a state of continuous, silent self-regulation. This unwavering regulation, this commitment to balance, has persisted for billions of years without panic, without pause, and without urgency. This rhythm is the sound of eternal peace. Focus intensely on the atmosphere itself. Though it appears to be a chaotic, unseen mixture of gases, the essential balance between oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide, the very air that keeps you alive and safe, is maintained by a delicate, silent, massive process. The great ancient forests we explored, the vast unseen ocean phytoplankton, and the countless silent soil microbes all work in a constant, unperceived collaboration to ensure this perfect atmospheric stability. Every single breath you take is the culmination of billions of years of balanced biological and geological work. Your most vital life source originates from a state of deep, enduring stillness and continuous, silent harmony. This principle of balance and endurance is nowhere more awe-inspiring than in the concept of deep time. Deep time is the geological scale of existence where the entire span of recorded human life is barely a flicker, an unmeasurable instant. The history of the Earth stretches back over 4.5 billion years, and every majestic natural process we have discussed, the slow, gentle drifting of continents, the gradual building of mountain ranges, the patient evolution of all life, unfolds across this unimaginable expanse. To truly grasp this scale is to invite ultimate serenity into the mind. The trivial worries of a single day, or even a single year, become completely inconsequential in the face of such profound, ancient stability and duration. Microtime, the tiny silent movements of molecules, cells, and particles, is the persistent, quiet engine of this deep time. The silent, tireless, ceaseless work of one microbe in the soil today contributes infinitesimally but essentially to the long, patient future of the planet. There is no concept of instant fix or sudden, chaotic leap in nature's fundamental systems. There is only the gentle, persistent, and constant flow of life and change. Every cell, every atom, silently and perfectly performs its duty, adhering to the fundamental laws of quiet efficiency and cosmic slowness. This immense, stable cosmic perspective teaches us a deep lesson that hurry, worry, and fear are purely human, temporary inventions. The cosmos does not rush its processes. The tectonic plates do not panic, they move with slow certainty. The ancient trees do not worry about the change in seasons. They simply endure, adapt, and grow with an immense, quiet certainty. Their presence whispers to you that the greatest power in the universe is found in slowness and persistent, quiet strength. Let your mind finally rest upon the image of a single silent microbe working relentlessly in the soil beneath you. Let its patient, unyielding duty calm the urgency in your own heart. Feel the massive, quiet strength of the earth's long history, holding you steady, cradling you. You are supported by natural processes that have lasted longer than memory, longer than history, longer than human comprehension. You are safe, enveloped by the universe's quiet assurance. We have completed our journey through all the realms of quiet mystery: the deep, dark, pressurized sea, the electric silent dance of the northern sky, the white, frozen, enduring continent, the moon's patient, tidal gravity, and the profound silent wisdom of the forest and the microcosmos. Gather the collective, vast calm of all these places now. Let the steady pull of the tide, the slow creep of the ice, the geometric perfection of the crystal, and the gentle rhythm of the atmosphere guide your breathing. Rest now beneath the silent, stable watch of the cosmos and the perfect, patient balance of the earth. Everything is in its proper rhythm. You are safe. You are at peace. Sink into deep, restorative rest. We have arrived at the final quiet stage of our journey, a slow, gentle dive inward to fully integrate the profound calmness we have discovered across the earth and the cosmos. This is the sacred moment to fully, completely let go of the day's noise, the daily demands, and every fleeting thought, allowing the stable, ancient rhythms of the universe to gently and completely guide you toward deep, restorative sleep. The vast, supportive silence of the world is now focused entirely on you, acting as your quiet anchor. We begin this integration by returning in our minds to the absolute stillness of the deep ocean. Imagine yourself effortlessly, peacefully suspended in the water, a full kilometer down, far, far below the turbulent surface, far from the chaotic waves and the noise of the daylight world. Here the environment is defined by immense, steady pressure, an absolute, unbroken, permanent darkness. Yet you are perfectly safe, cradled by the density of the water. The vast liquid stillness presses in on you, gently muffling every stray thought, every distracting echo, and every distant sound from the surface world. Feel the immense, supportive embrace of the water all around you. Focus now with your entire mind on the abyssal current, that massive, slow-moving, cold river of water that crawls silently across the ocean floor. This current, taken centuries, hundreds of years, to complete its immense circuit around the globe, is the perfect embodiment of natural, unstoppable patience. It does not rush, it does not stop. It simply flows with an enduring, unhurried certainty that has lasted since the dawn of deep time. Let the slow, deliberate pace of this immense, deep-sea current become the exact calming pace of your own breath. Slow, deep, rhythmic, and utterly relaxed. Breathe in the stillness of the deep, and breathe out the ease of your attention. Recall the mastery and quiet efficiency of the creatures that thrive in this extreme environment. soft, steady vibrations urgency is a calming, hypnotic, reliable beat. The gelatinous plankton floating effortlessly, conserving every single fraction of energy, patiently waiting for the gentle shower of marine snow, the food of the abyss, to drift down from the distant surface. These creatures are silent masters of adaptation, existing in a perfect, quiet, long-term balance with scarcity and extreme cold. Their quiet endurance is absolute. Let this quiet endurance and profound stillness settle deeply into every nerve and muscle of your own body. Feel any lingering tension slowly, softly dissolve, sinking away from you like heavy, unused sediment in the water column, drifting down into the abyss. The weight of your body is completely supported by the deep. There is no remaining task for your muscles. You are merely floating, suspended in the vast, still, dark ocean of the quiet night. Now, gently transition your mind, letting the darkness lift as we ascend seamlessly to the electric, dancing sky of the northern lights. Feel your body become lighter and lighter, the pressure easing completely until you are suspended and high in the thin, cold air above the Arctic Circle. The air is crystalline, pure, and still, and the sky above is blacker than the deepest sea. But now a soft, ethereal green curtain of light unfolds and begins its slow, silent, spectacular dance. The aurora borealis is the beautiful, gentle, silent collision of solar energy and our planet's massive protective magnetic shield. This is not a chaotic event. It is the most organized, graceful, and predictable display of cosmic forces translated into light. The light itself moves with infinite slow patience. It curls, it shimmers, it pulses, and it spreads across the entire sky with a majestic rhythm that holds no urgency, only slow, cosmic certainty. Let the beautiful, gliding movement of this celestial show calm your entire being. Let the light's soft, hypnotic, unhurried flow slow your internal tempo to match its own. Breathe in the crystalline, dry cold of the polar night, feeling the clarity of the air. Breathe out any remaining heat, any residual thought, any sense of hurry or tension from your day. These two contrasting realms, the deep, quiet dark and the high, electric light, offer the shared lesson of ultimate protection and patience. The sheer, unmoving mass of the ocean holds you securely below. The immense strength of the magnetic field shields you safely above. You are completely supported, endlessly cradled, and profoundly protected by the most stable, quiet forces of the earth and the cosmos combined. Sink deeper into the peace these two worlds offer you. We gently shift our focus now, allowing the energetic electric dance of the northern lights to softly, quietly dissolve from our mind's eye. That vivid imagery is now replaced by the deep, crystalline, cold stillness of Antarctica. Feel the sensation of moving from the high, active electric atmosphere to the solid, unmoving, ancient ground of the southernmost continent, a vast and remote place defined by ultimate, enduring, profound peace. This transition is seamless and calming, moving you from light to enduring mass, settling you completely. Imagine the sheer, boundless, blinding white that stretches in all directions, an infinity of snow and ice. The continent is physically larger than the entirety of Europe, completely silent, and covered by a sheet of ice that is not just old, but literally millions of years old, containing histories that predate humanity. This is the Great White Silence. The quiet here is not merely the absence of sound, it is an immense, active, heavy, and palpable presence pressing in on you, calming every stray flicker of the frantic internal monologue of the mind. All external noise, all disturbance is filtered away and absorbed by the massive, insulating, protective blanket of ice, leaving only profound stillness. Focus intently now on the immense, patient, unchanging weight of the Antarctic ice sheet. This ice sheet is kilometers thick, holding an incredible 90% of the world's fresh water, and it moves with an almost imperceptible geological slowness. The stability and sheer mass of this ancient frozen structure are absolute and unshakable. Its strength is not expressed through noise or sudden activity. It is expressed through deep, quiet, eternal endurance and unchanging, resolute form. Allow the sheer, massive, stabilizing strength of the ice sheet to mentally transfer to your core, grounding you in a place of perfect, unshakable, profound stillness. Recall the Antarctic circumpolar current, the colossal quiet river of water that eternally encircles the continent, isolating it, preserving its total silence, and continuously reinforcing its cold, pure state. This ceaseless circular flow is a perfect, humbling metaphor for the constancy of the Earth's quiet, self-regulating systems. Your deep rest, too, is protected and completely encircled by constant, patient, stable, natural forces. You are safe, secure, and fully cradled within the great white silence, far from all disturbance. Now, gently tilt your mind upward, away from the frozen ground and toward the deep expanse of the night sky, to the influence of the moon's steady pull. We integrate the Earth's most silent, most reliable, and most stable cosmic anchor, the moon, our ancient and constant companion, silently, patiently governs the immense ocean tides we explored in the first chapter. It moves the great heavy waters of the world back and forth with an unwavering, predictable, rhythmic certainty that has never failed. Imagine the high tide swelling softly, deliberately, gently towards the shore, and the low tide receding with patient, measured slowness, exposing the quiet sand. This is the oldest, most reliable rhythm on Earth, a perfect, gentle, consistent cadence dictated by a quiet gravitational force millions of miles away across the blackness of space. Let the slow, rhythmic, predictable breathing of the ocean, pulled by the moon, become the deep, calming, essential rhythm of your own inhalation and exhalation. Inhale the deep clarity, exhale the slightest remaining effort. The moon not only governs the waters but performs the crucial task of stabilizing our entire planet. It acts as a massive, silent cosmological gyroscope, preventing the Earth's rotational axis from wobbling dramatically, ensuring the long, patient stability of our climate and the enduring evolution of life. The moon guarantees endurance, predictability, and safety. It is the silent, perfect promise of cosmic stability and order in the night sky. Feel the deep, integrated, profound calm of these two vast forces combining, the heavy, ancient, unmoving stillness of the Antarctic ice beneath your body, and the gentle, reliable, stabilizing pull of the moon above you. You are held perfectly and securely in a quiet equilibrium, a dynamic stability between the Earth's enduring mass and the cosmos's gentle touch. Allow the cold certainty of the ice to anchor your consciousness, and the tidal pull of the moon to gently rock your spirit towards sleep. Moving gently from the profound stability of the unshakable ice and the rhythmic, guiding pull of the moon, we now softly turn our minds back to the Earth's surface, seeking one of the most ancient, most patient, and most deeply rooted places of life, the deep stillness of the ancient forest. Feel your body softly and seamlessly transition from the cold, crisp environment to a warm, humid stillness, as the vast open sky above is replaced by a dense, protective, eternal canopy of green. Allow the rich, earthy, purifying scent of the forest floor, the deep smell of moss, and the moist, calming air to fully envelop you, completely cleansing and refining your mind. Here, in the deep, sheltered interior of the forest, peace is not momentary, it is a condition measured in centuries. The immense living mass of the ancient trees, some hundreds, even thousands of years old, provides a natural, perfect sound insulation that absorbs and filters away all external noise and commotion. The wind, which was a wild, chaotic howl across the empty plains of Antarctica, is now reduced to a gentle, restorative hush as it passes quietly and slowly through the highest, oldest branches. This soft, consistent sound is a profound, natural lullaby, the sound of the planet breathing slowly. Focus intently on the unshakable wisdom of the oldest trees. Trees like the giant sequoias or the high mountain bristlecone pines have stood silent, enduring watch for countless generations of life and time. Their very existence is the most tangible, living proof of the power of non-urgency, of the sheer strength that is found in being slow, steady, and absolutely certain. Their growth is impossibly slow. Every single ring within their trunk represents a decade of patient endurance, a record of silent, absolute survival against all odds. Feel their monumental stability, their immense, deep-rootedness, transfer and become the complete stability of your own spine and your entire body. This ancient, rooted strength perfectly grounds you, anchoring you securely against the noise and chaos of the present moment. In your mind's eye, descend now to the quiet forest floor beneath your feet. Allow your consciousness to explore the silent, invisible communication network of roots and fungi known as the Wood Wide Web. Through this intricate subterranean hidden system, the trees support one another, sharing water, critical resources, and vital nutrients, all through a gentle, constant, and collective support. This is a perfect, reassuring model of cooperation achieved through stillness, not through loud competition. Feel the quiet, protective, collective support of the entire living world surrounding and sustaining you. Now we shift our focus to the smallest and most silent of all, the invisible yet essential world of the microcosmos. In every single teaspoon of healthy forest soil beneath the roots, there are more organisms, tiny, silent workers, than there are people on the entire earth. The vast populations of bacteria and microbes relentlessly, tirelessly perform their duty of converting dead, fallen matter back into renewed life, all without making a single perceptible sound. They are the planet's quiet, tireless, invisible recyclers, the minuscule laborers who restore balance in every second. Let their persistent, silent work instill in your mind the knowledge that life is a cyclical, continuous, never-ending process that is never wasted, only renewed. In the same tranquil way, recall the eternal, slow, circular movement of the water cycle, the silent, invisible rise of water evaporating from the ocean, its patient collection and rest in the clouds, and its eventual, centuries-long, subterranean journey back to the seas. This great cycle demonstrates that even our most fundamental life-sustaining processes occur in a state of complete calm, regulated, and profoundly patient flow. There is an absolute order in the smallest movements. Know that your own body, much like this microscopic and cosmic processes, is quietly and diligently repairing itself as you rest. Your cells are renewing. Your breath is steadying. Your energy is being perfectly restored. Allow your mind to embrace the immense knowledge of deep time, the understanding that all individual worries are rendered insignificant in the face of such profound cosmic patience. You are a safe, supported, and enduring part of this massive, quiet, self-healing, magnificent system. Let the silent operating order of the ancient forest and the ordered microcosmos offer you final, absolute peace. This patience, this rhythm, and this unwavering continuity are now entirely yours to possess. Relinquish all remaining effort and thought. You are utterly secure. You are deeply at peace. We have successfully gathered the immense, quiet, restorative stillness from the farthest reaches of the earth and the cosmos. Now, let us use this accumulated, integrated peace to guide every single cell, every muscle, and every nerve fiber of your being into complete, effortless, deep rest. This is the sacred moment of final, absolute release, where you consciously let go of every remaining trace of physical tension and every last mental holding. Begin by bringing your entire, focused attention to your feet and your lower legs. Feel the significant, heavy weight of this part of your body sinking heavily, deeply, completely into the surface beneath you. Imagine the immense, unshakable, grounding force of the Antarctic ice sheet pressing up against you from below. Feel that colossal, ancient ice sheet, kilometers thick, millions of years old, beneath your feet, anchoring you with a profound, deep, crystalline stillness that is absolute. The sheer mass of the ice accepts your entire weight entirely, instantly absorbing all residual tension and supporting you completely and securely. Allow your feet to become heavy, cold, still, and utterly, totally relaxed. Now gently move your awareness and attention upward to your hands and your arms. Focus on the subtle sensation of your fingers slowly unclenching, your palms smoothing out, your wrists softening, and your elbows relaxing entirely. Imagine your arms are now gently and softly suspended in the vast, still, deep ocean, thousands of meters below the surface, far from all movement. They are floating effortlessly, completely weightless, cradled and protected by the immense, quiet surrounding pressure of the water. Recall the gentle, slow, consistent current, the abyssal current, passing over your skin, washing away the last remaining feeling of effort, labor, and strain. Your arms are now entirely weightless, profoundly still, and perfectly at peace, suspended in the deep, quiet, endless dark. Next, bring your awareness to your core, your entire chest, and your abdomen. Let your stomach soften completely and hang heavy. Imagine this central core space is now bathed in the gentle, predictable, eternal rhythm of the moon's steady pull. Feel the soft, enormous, eternal, rhythmic sway of the ocean tide, the high tide moving gently inward, bringing a wave of peace, and the low tide softly receding, carrying away all accumulated stress and worry. Allow your breathing to naturally synchronize with this immense, gentle, oceanic rhythm. Inhale, and the tide flows in with clarity. Exhale, and the tide pulls away all your burdens. Your core is stable, soft, and secure, governed by a cosmic, perfect, silent order. Move your focused attention to your head and your face. Allow your jaw to unclench completely, separating your teeth. Let your tongue fall softly away from the roof of your mouth. Allow your eyelids to become heavy, heavy, and the skin on your forehead to completely smooth out and relax. Imagine your mind is now entirely enveloped by the quiet, electric, colorful, graceful presence of the northern lights. The gentle, silent, flowing light washes over your thoughts, dissolving them like a morning mist in the cold, clear air. The light brings clarity and profound stillness, leaving no room for chaotic thought, only calm, continuous, graceful motion and peace. Finally, bring all 6 elements of peace together, allowing them to integrate completely. Feel the ancient, enduring wisdom of the forest running deep through your entire structure, a strength that is slow, rooted, and infinitely patient. Feel the meticulous, silent, healing work of the microcosmos, ensuring that every microscopic part of you is being perfectly sustained, repaired, and renewed in this very moment of deep rest. The small things are taking care of the large things. You are securely anchored by the absolute mass of the ice. You are gently suspended by the silent vastness of the deep ocean. You are rhythmically governed by the predictable pull of the moon. You are cleansed and purified by the graceful flow of the aurora. You are supported and strengthened by the ancient roots of the forest. You are profoundly healed by the tireless microcosmos. Let the combined, unwavering, massive stability of the entire universe hold you now. Sink deeply, completely, and utterly into the surface beneath you, knowing you are fully supported and entirely at peace. There is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to resist, and absolutely nothing left to do. Rest now. We move now into an even deeper, more profound, more settled state of complete rest, transitioning beyond the experience of simple stillness into the perfect, harmonious, balanced feeling of suspension and anchor. Your body, your entire consciousness, is now a quiet, empty vessel held perfectly and securely between 2 great, constant, and ancient cosmic forces: the immense, unwavering, undeniable gravity of the earth and the gentle, cradling, protective weightlessness of the infinite deep. Embrace this profound dual sensation completely, allowing the 2 forces to neutralize each other into a singular state of perfect, total peace. Feel the heavy, pulling, unhurried certainty of gravity working continuously on every single part of your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your heels. This is the constant, quiet, reliable, faithful force of the planet itself, holding you securely in your chosen resting place, preventing you from drifting, and reassuring you of your deep stability and permanence. Sink completely and entirely into the supportive surface beneath you, yielding your whole, entire, resting weight to the earth's unwavering embrace. The earth is your ultimate passive anchor, a massive, quiet, ancient presence that asks nothing of you, absolutely nothing, but to simply rest, to be perfectly still, and to be held eternally by its sheer, reliable mass. Feel the solid, unmoving, heavy reliability of the ground beneath your back, beneath your shoulders, beneath your arms, and beneath your weary limbs. Now, seamlessly blend this sensation of deep, heavy grounding with the sensation of effortless suspension. Recall the silent, vast, endless, deep ocean where you floated weightlessly in the immense, supportive liquid. This is the pure feeling of zero effort, the sensation where you are completely protected from all forms of turbulence, all chaos, and all need for active movement or any muscular tension whatsoever. Imagine a warm, dark, dense liquid surrounding you completely, supporting every curve and every contour, gently lifting the weight from every joint, every single muscle fiber, and every bone in your body. You are not holding yourself up in any way. You are being endlessly, safely, and gently carried. Allow the surface beneath you to disappear entirely for a moment.
leaving only the profound sense of being perfectly suspended in a dark, quiet, eternal space. The deepest, most restorative rest you seek is found in the perfect, harmonious balance between these two powerful, quiet states. Anchored down with the massive, quiet, ancient weight of the ice and the solid, unmoving core of the earth beneath you, yet simultaneously float free with the effortless suspension of the deep ocean and the gentle, endless, rhythmic sway of the moon's tidal pull above you. You are both incredibly heavy and impossibly light at the exact same moment. Rest securely, safely, and deeply in this paradox of perfect, stable balance. Let this dual sensation deepen and regulate your breathing to a cosmic rhythm. Your inhale is light, an effortless ascent, like the water vapor, silently and gently rising from the sea and drifting toward the clouds. Your exhale is heavy, a complete and total release, sinking deep and slow into the Antarctic ice beneath your feet. Inhale, ascent, clarity, and lightness. Exhale, descent, complete surrender and deep rest. Allow this steady, comforting, rhythmic pace to take over entirely, slowing down your internal clock to a near stop. Feel the absolute, comprehensive, surrounding stillness. The stillness is not empty. It is richly filled with the ancient, quiet wisdom of the ancient forest, a patient, rooted, enduring life force that flows slowly through your entire being, strengthening your resolve for rest. It is filled with the meticulous, silent, tireless work of the microcosmos, ensuring that every microscopic part of it is being perfectly sustained, repaired, renewed, and restored to perfect balance in this very moment of deep rest. The smallest elements are taking care of the largest. The hidden forces are provided for you. Every part of you is secure, stable, and deeply, quietly functional, performing its duty without conscious thought or interference. We are drifting now, suspended safely in the quiet dark, anchored eternally by the certainty of the earth. There is no trace of urgency left in this moment. All time is simply yielding to peace. The entire planet does not rush. The moon does not hurry its patient orbit. The deep sea simply flows with patient, endless time. Embrace this slowness entirely. Surrender your final thoughts to the quiet. Your long journey is fully complete. The work of the day is done. The work of the world continues quietly and perfectly around you, ensuring your absolute peace and protection. Surrender fully and completely to the profound, silent stability of the cosmos. Sink, float, rest. We have successfully anchored the body to the absolute, unshakable stillness of the earth. We have suspended the spirit in the quiet, supportive vastness of the cosmos. Now, we turn our final, gentle, complete, unwavering attention to the quiet, vast, luminous, protected space of the mind itself, meticulously and patiently preparing it for its ultimate, profound, necessary surrender into the deepest depth of restorative sleep. Allow any remaining mental energy, any small, persistent, flickering thoughts, or any final, small, lingering, unnecessary anxieties to be acknowledged with kindness, observed without judgment, and then gracefully and completely released into the surrounding quiet. They are merely temporary, fleeting visitors. You are the permanent, unmoving, peaceful host of the stillness that resides at your core. Imagine your entire mind now being continuously purified, cleansed, and refined by the combined, gentle, yet powerful cleansing force of the northern lights and the absolute, pristine clarity of the Antarctic white silence. The Arctic light, silent, flowing, and pure,
acts as a cosmic solvent, gently and thoroughly dissolving the sharp, hurried, frantic edges of your thoughts. See the light slowly washing over every compartment, every recess, and every tiny corner of your brain, smoothing away the wrinkles of worry, banishing the shadows of doubt, and replacing all sense of effort with perfect, simple, sustained ease. The gentle, silent movement of the light is the only activity permitted within your mind space, and its movement is slow, silent, and entirely beautiful, like a soft, comforting, cosmic breath being taken on your behalf. This flowing, silent light is now blending seamlessly, perfectly, and completely with the profound, heavy, absolute, protective stillness of the great white silence. Feel the cold, crystalline, pure, deep clarity of the polar night entering your consciousness, methodically and gently pushing out all cognitive noise, all internal chatter, all calculation, and all residual mental friction. This absolute silence is a protected space where no decisions are required of you, no problems need to be solved, and absolutely no futures need to be planned or worried over. This is the ultimate neutral, receptive space, a vast, wide, empty, comforting canvas where the inner dialogue is finally muffled, absorbed, and silenced completely, yielding to peace. You are completely safe, securely supported, and eternally protected within this massive, silent, white expanse. Turn your awareness now, fully, completely, and deeply, to the slow, steady, patient, reliable, life-giving rhythm of your breath. The breath is your final, faithful, gentle, and essential link to the physical world, and it is now entirely synchronized with the grand, unhurried, monumental cycles of the cosmos, the immense, slow, rhythmic, abyssal current of the deep ocean, and the centuries-long, patient, rooted, enduring growth cycle of the ancient forest. Inhale deeply, calmly, drawing in the slow motion endurance and resilience of the ancient world, filling your body with patient strength. Exhale slowly, fully, entirely, releasing your sense of personal time, your self-imposed schedule, and all sense of immediate, pressing urgency. You are now entirely free from the relentless demands of the clock. Your mind is now transitioning from the active state of thinking to the passive state of observing, then from observing to simply feeling, and finally from feeling to just being. Let your consciousness become like the microcosmos, performing its essential function of renewal, repair, and restoration without any sense of urgency, without need for conscious awareness, and without noise. Your only function now is to allow the natural, inevitable, irresistible process of deep sleep to take over completely and entirely without resistance. The process of final letting go is not an effort. It is not a struggle. It is a gentle, soft, continuous, inevitable falling, a simple surrender to peace. Fall into the heavy, absolute stillness of the deep ice. Fall into the dark, comforting suspension of the deep ocean. Fall into the predictable, soft rhythm of the moon's patient tides. Fall into the unshakable, ancient, rooted strength of the forest. Fall away from your waking self, letting all vigilance cease. Surrender your weight. Surrender your remaining thoughts. Surrender your identity as a waking being. You are dissolving into the profound, perfect comfort of the moment. Rest is the most important, most productive, most healing thing you can achieve now. Let go of the final, last, smallest hold you have on awareness. Sink, rest, sleep. Allow the quiet perfection of the universe to draw you into the deepest level of peaceful slumber. You are now suspended completely and effortlessly, floating in a profound, deep state of quietude. Your entire being is perfectly, harmoniously balanced, gently cradled, and eternally protected between the vast, infinite, silent cosmos above and the solid, unmoving, reliable, ancient earth beneath. Let us, with one final, slow, gentle, loving movement, revisit the six great themes, the six quiet, powerful echoes that have patiently and reliably guided us to this moment of ultimate, final, necessary rest. We will hear their quiet echoes one last time, allowing each profound, peaceful principle to settle permanently, deeply, and securely into every corner of your consciousness, becoming an intrinsic, unshakable part of your inner stability and peace. First, tune your internal ear and hear the deep, muffled, heavy echo of the deep ocean. This echo is not a sound of noise, it is the enveloping sound of heavy, liquid silence itself. The pressure of deep protective support and the constant, slow, silent flow of the abyssal current, washing away every last small concern, every last remaining piece of tension, every last unwanted thought. Feel your body becoming impossibly heavy, sinking deep, yet simultaneously and effortlessly suspended in the dark, supportive liquid. Rest deeply, safely, and completely in the deep, silent suspension. Second, allow your mind's eye to clearly see the silent, slow motion, ethereal echo of the northern lights. It is the quiet, flowing light of cosmic cleansing, a graceful, gentle, luminous wave of pure, crystalline energy that has polished your mind, clean of all friction, all restlessness, and all cognitive static noise. Your thoughts are now clear, calm, distant, and utterly harmless, watched from afar without engagement. The soothing energy of the cosmos is silently, peacefully calming your mind. Rest in the light, the silence, and the continuous flow of the high atmosphere. Third, fully feel the ancient, unshakable, profound, stabilizing echo of Antarctica's white silence. It is the immense, enduring, geological strength of the ice, a monumental force that prevents all movement, all restlessness, and guarantees an absolute, perfect, necessary stillness. You are anchored in a peace that is not new, but millions of years old, constant and unyielding. You are utterly secure. Rest absolutely, completely, and securely in the stillness of the deep ice. Fourth, perceive and fully embrace the gentle, predictable, comforting, reliable echo of the moon's steady pull. It is the soft, rhythmic, eternal, predictable sway of the ocean tide, the oldest, most reliable rhythm in the entire world, steadily guiding your breath and stabilizing your entire core being with its consistent, perfect movement. Allow your breath to fully surrender and become the slow, peaceful tide. Rest in the rhythm, the certainty, and the predictability of cosmic cycles. Fifth, deeply inhale the massive, rooted, enduring, quiet echo of the ancient forest. It is the patient, slow-motion life force of the oldest trees, a profound wisdom that assured you that great things, like healing and deep rest, take time, and that quiet, rooted, unhurried endurance is the ultimate, most sustainable form of strength. Feel the strength of the forest holding your life force steady and true. Rest in the strength of slow, patient, enduring growth. And sixth, acknowledge and trust the tireless, invisible, essential, quiet echo of the microcosmos. It is the absolute quiet proof that everything, every single cell, every molecule is being meticulously, quietly, perfectly repaired, renewed, and brought back into optimal balance deep within your body, entirely without your conscious effort or awareness. The universe is actively and perfectly healing you as you rest. Rest completely in the promise of renewal, healing, and restoration. Now let the six echoes merge into a singular, vast, unified hum of peace. Feel the simultaneous truth of being held down by the crushing, heavy stability of the ice, while being lifted up by the soft, flowing grace of the deep ocean. Let your mind, cleansed by the light of the aurora, move only to the silent, slow rhythm dictated by the moon. Let the patient, rooted strength of the ancient forest fill the space where worry used to reside, knowing that the tireless work of the microcosmos guarantees your complete recovery. Surrender your weight, surrender your remaining thoughts, surrender your identity as a wakened being. You are dissolving into the profound, perfect comfort of the moment. Rest is the most important, most productive, most healing thing you can achieve now. Let go of the final, last, smallest hold you have on awareness. Sink, rest, sleep. Allow the quiet perfection of the universe to draw you into the deepest level of peaceful slumber, held secure in the knowledge that everything is now perfectly, beautifully, and eternally still. You have reached the final sacred threshold of your long journey. There is absolutely nothing left for you to hold, nothing left to observe, and absolutely nothing left to accomplish in this moment. Allow your body, every single part of it, to become completely, irrevocably, and utterly heavy. Feel the deep, constant, irresistible force of the earth's gravity pulling you down, down, down into the deepest, softest comfort. Surrender your entire weight now. Let us perform one final, slow, systematic descent into the stillness, guiding every single tiny part of your body into profound, complete surrender. Focus first on the comforting, geological weight of your head. Feel it sink. Let it become heavy like a massive, unmoving stone, resting entirely on the pillow, perfectly still, entirely free of all effort and all thought. Release your jaw, release your eyes. Move your deep awareness down to your shoulders and arms. Let them be pulled by the unrelenting force of gravity, heavy, limp, and totally relaxed. Imagine a gentle, warm weight settling across your entire chest, pressing all remaining air and any last trace of physical effort gently from your lungs with every slow exhale. Sink deep into the surface now. Feel the profound, unyielding weight of your hips and legs. They are deeply anchored, fused to the surface beneath you by the absolute, unwavering stability of the earth. You are immovable, completely steady, perfectly still. Your breath is now slowing naturally, gracefully, becoming deep, shallow, and almost imperceptible, a gentle ripple in the vast, silent ocean of your quiet body. Your mind is quiet, dark, and open only to the persistent, soothing sensation of falling, 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 deeper and deeper into the ultimate comfort of rest. We will now begin a slow, final, complete countdown from 10 to 0 to complete stillness, allowing your consciousness to drift and separate entirely from the waking world with each passing number. Let the words simply carry you gently away. 10. Feeling the profound, endless depth of the deep ocean supporting your body, a dark, vast cradle of suspension. You are weightless and held. Let go entirely now. Let all remaining resistance melt away from your feet and legs. They belong entirely to the deep. 9. Observing the slow, final fading of the northern lights, a cleansing light dissolving into a gentle, quiet ember in your mind. Release all control, all vision. Your lower legs are numb, heavy, and completely inactive. You are sinking deeper. 8. Grounded completely, absolutely, and securely by the immense, heavy, unshakable force of the Antarctic ice, and unmoving absolute stillness beneath you. foundation is eternal. Let the heaviness take over. Feel the immense weight of your thighs, your hips, your lower abdomen. All effort ceases here. 7. Following the slow, patient, predictable, eternal rhythm of the moon's tide, your breath mirroring the ocean's gentle, ceaseless movement, this rhythm is your anchor. Trust the steady pull. Your entire torso is soft, sinking, and yielding. Your shoulders are heavy. Allow yourself to be breathed by the cosmic tide. 6. Embracing the heavy, slow motion, unbreakable strength of the ancient forest roots, anchoring your spirit to the planet's most patient forces. Surrender to the rooted power. Deeper, heavier. Your arms are heavy, your wrists are limp, your fingers are uncurled and absolutely still. 5. Trusting the silent, tireless, perfect, quiet work of the microcosmos, renewing and restoring your body completely for perfect sleep. Surrender all awareness of the body's working. Your neck is soft, your jaw is loose, your eyelids are heavy and sealed shut. Let your face be smoothed by the final peacefulness. 4. Drifting deeper and further away into the ultimate comfort and the absolute quiet. Fall away from the last vestiges of the day. Allow your thoughts to become clouds, white and harmless, floating slowly across a distant dark blue sky. 3. Falling deeper and further into the absolute enveloping protective silence. Let the silence be your only companion, your only awareness. Embrace the profound safety of the quiet dark. Your breathing is now effortless and entirely automatic. You are completely safe. You are completely held. Just rest. 2. Sinking deeper and further into the gentle, welcoming, eternal dark, there is no waking thought left, only the feeling of sinking, surrender, and peace. Your consciousness is now a single, still point of light, fading slowly in the vastness. Let this light dim further, fading into the comfortable, soft black. 1. Complete, final, irreversible, total surrender. All effort ceases now. 0. You are there. The goal is reached. The journey is complete. Complete silence, complete peace, complete rest. You are sleeping now. May this deep, holding silence and the perfect, unshakable stability of the earth hold you safely and completely until morning.